Hey there, Rye the Car Guy here, and today we're going to restore some automotive plastics with a heat gun. Now, if you live in a place that has the sun, you'll know that a lot of plastics can get bleached out. Just like my little piece here, this is a Cowl off of my 2006 Titan. Over here, most of its life was spent underneath the hood, and then over here, most of its life, if not all of it, was spent out in the sun. Now, on this channel, we've restored plastics using paint and bed liner, which is also just paint. Multiple times I've had people reach out to me and say, hey, have you just tried heating it up with your heat gun? I've had great success with it. Well, no, I haven't tried that until today. If you follow my channel, you might remember that I broke the Cowl on the Titan. Oh yeah, that's great. Whatever. So we have a couple pieces that we can try it out with before we go actually do it on the part I'm going to use. If that goes well, I'm also going to hit the notorious weather strips on the windows on the Xterra. So let's go try it out. Now we have an incredibly inexpensive heat gun here. I think these are like 75 cents at Harbor Freight. So you can get one of these real cheap. It's actually going to be cheaper probably than one can of paint to go paint this up. I've been letting this sit out for a couple minutes just to let the whole thing get warm. Basically less work that the gun has to do. And I'm not really sure what method we're going to use yet. Probably like little circles or something to try to get a consistent pattern on here, but we'll find out. This is our test piece, right? I'm also going to use a respirator all the way down to vapor level. Something about, you know, melting plastics makes me feel like I want to protect my lungs. So grab something like that and we're going to try it out. All right, so that's a little bit like witchcraft. It really does darken the plastic up a lot. I mean, look at the sort of before and after here, right? It's pretty intense. One thing, however, I will say, and this could be me, I'm going to try something over here before I make a final determination, but you can kind of see the movements that I made with the heat gun, and so it's not a consistent color. Again, over here, what I'll probably do is change my method. I'll do like little circles, and because I kind of went all over the place. You guys saw it, but I'll try that over here, and we'll see how that goes. So it looks like hands down a circular pattern, at least for me, is yielding better results. So the Cowl plastics, which are really the same plastics as your side, well on the Xterra, not on the Titan, but as the door bumper guards, it's really the same plastic. It actually does quite a good job at pulling some color back out of these things. If we take the old one here, we'll hold them up as comparisons. Clearly there's an improvement here, right? Just like with painting though, you really need to have a good method. You can't just kind of go in there ham-fisted and just, you know, just go crazy on it. The circular motion really worked out well for me. I think there's still room for improvement because I can still see some lines. Maybe some proper cleaning, so like really nicely cleaning it beforehand might do it. Or even like a nice light key with some sandpaper. I'm not sure. I might try that on this piece and let you know, but obviously it's not an old wives' tale. It's not folklore. It actually will do it. So let's go try the same method on the Xterra window seals. All right, if you own a Nissan from, you know, early 2000s all the way up to the mid 2010s, then you probably have this really ugly plastic. And I've heard, as well as using it on the Cowl and these side guards here, you can also use a heat gun to freshen these up as well. So that's what we're going to try. For these, however, I am just going to take a little paper towel, a wet paper towel, because if you just wipe these down, they're degraded already, and you're gonna have some flake kind of come off on it. So let's get that cleaned first, and then we'll grab our heat gun and give it the old college try. All right, I would call that a success. I think it did really well. I also tried it down here, and I wouldn't really recommend it on this particular piece. It might work on this, but it just kind of had some weird streaks in it. So maybe avoid that, even, you know, maybe even mask it off if you want to, but certainly a night and day difference. If you get too close, you're gonna see that it isn't perfect, but hell, what it, you know, compared to what it was before, it's a huge improvement. It does not work on the door handle plastic, so it was a different type of plastic, but I thought I'd give it a try so I could let you know. And of course, it's going to work on the front and rear bumper and your door guards, like we talked about earlier. So I'm going to finish up the plastics on the Xterra, and then we'll wrap this video up. All right. Also, I want to mention this one I did not wipe down first, and I actually like the result better. I think the pieces that were kind of flaked on there or just sitting on top kind of melted back on. So I, in fact, wouldn't recommend wiping it down first unless it's just, of course, dirty. But for me, I actually took plastic off when I was wiping it. All in all, I have to say I'm really pleased with the results on the window jambs or the window seals, not so much on the cowl plastic. For me, the larger areas of plastic like the cowl and the bumpers and whatnot, I'll probably stick to painting. And then those door jambs, I'm very pleased with those results, so I'm going to keep melting those if they get nice and gray again. A quick disclaimer, if you try this, please do so at your own risk. You always have that danger of completely melting through something if you're not careful, so you know, it's definitely possible that you may do damage to one of your panels that is irreparable. One of the major pros of this method, I would say, is the fact that you don't have to do any masking or pull any pieces off to make this change. You just grab your heat gun and you heat up the pieces while they're on the vehicle. Also, if you try this out and you're not happy with the results, you can still always just go back and paint it. So if you try this or have already tried it, please share your experience down below, whether it be a success story or a horror story. If you want to support the channel, please go ahead, scroll down, hit like on this video, and of course hit subscribe for more content like this. Head to rtcg.tv and click the merch button to see some new t-shirts that were recently released. And if you really loved this video and it helped you save some time or money, you can always hit me up with a super thanks using the thanks button down below. That's it for this one, folks. See you next week.